today I'm going to do my 105 hour or 100 hour service on the Predator 3500. Went into town to get an extra spark plug, and I'll get to removing that later, but I'm in Canada right now, and they haven't heard of the Predator. Come on, focus. There we go. Of this brand, and it's also Sunday, so nobody had one, so I'll just replace this later. Looked in the service manual. They said recommend replacing that every 100. So I'll get the cover off and go to the oil change, and then I'll do a little review once I'm done. So what I was going to say earlier about pulling the spark plug off, it's really not that far down in there, but two things. This is what they supplied me with. I would assume that there should be a hole to twist this. I could be wrong, but whatever. Second of all, look how loose that is. So immediately, once I finally got my Nipix on here, twisted it out, spark plug got stuck, twisted in there. So that's crap. So I recommend throwing this away. Just gonna clean it for now. It's not too carboned up. I've been using premium octane every single fill up. So I'm assuming that all this carbon's from when it bogs down, when it gets overloaded. And when it bogs down, sometimes you have to actually even shut the machine off and let it sit 5 or 10 minutes, so it basically becomes flooded and the spark plug becomes wet, and then it won't fire. So that's something you got to watch out for. And this is the first time I've ever pulled this spark plug out, so I'm not sure what it looked like from the get-go. Oh, that's pretty neat. So you can see, I don't know if you can see it, there's a crack in the porcelain right there, so some arcing. So that's probably why it sucks. You have a nice walk? Ready for a nap? The dogs are annoying her. So I guess I gotta do what I did last time. Good enough. And now you can see that it was kind of stuck on there. Still gonna throw that away. Okay, now that's done. Cleaned. Go ahead and start with the oil change. Okay. That was my maintenance lift kit. Pretty dirty. Means it's doing its job. I've been using the Briggs & Stratton SAE30. It says it takes like 530 or 1030, but it's Briggs & Stratton makes good motors, so I would assume that would be good oil. while that's draining, might as well check the air filter. Still looks pretty clean to me. Got one little bug wing. It's okay. Last time I did find that there was a lot of oil, so I'm going to go ahead and suck that out. Some rags. See, there's not too much oil at the base of that. I think it's because of the emission stuff that they put on here. That's the evap canister right there. Alright, so I got that all cleaned off at the bottom. Go ahead and put the lower plug back in. It's good. Oh, I hate these racks. Where did you go? There's your home. And it does take all 18 ounces. I like to get these smaller ones because it's convenient. Easier to pack rather than having half-quart bottles and stuff like that laying around. It's easier for me. One bottle in, one bottle out. Ooh, don't spill. That was close. Come on. It's a little cold up here in Canada. 60 degrees today. It's low 40s this morning. I don't live here, I'm just traveling. My battery's almost dead. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay, check the oil level, it's good. Go ahead and start it up. Okay, all done now. Like I showed you earlier, 105 hours total. Cool. Okay, quick review on the generator, the Predator 3500. Overall, it's been good. It does what it needs to. Sometimes when I have the AC on and a couple fans, it will bog down and just kind of try to catch itself. That could have been just part of the break-in period. What I found today when I pulled out that spark plug, that it was cracked. It had some arcing going along the porcelain, so that could be the reason why it's bogging down and the spark plug's getting saturated with fuel. I've never popped a breaker on it. In pros, it is what it is for what you spend. It's done everything it needs to. Good cost. It's nice and quiet. We were at one campsite and this guy had this construction generator and it sounded like a can of rocks. Just it was horrible. Everybody was complaining. This one's nice and quiet, and as you can see behind me, sometimes when I'm trying to be even quieter, I'll prop some stuff up against the camper, like that little table over there, and just indirect sound waves just blocking everything. Oh boy, got a dog up here. Dash, get down. And just out of sight, out of mind. Get down! With the electric start, it's nice because my wife can do it, and she knows zero about engines and stuff like that, so she just read the directions, start, run, crank. I mean, it's easy as that. So I also put a bungee cord on my power cable just because that cable is so heavy. It kind of rocks down the pins. So I didn't want that, so I kept the bungee on it just to hold it more secure up into the plug. It's just kind of one of those preventative things. I also like to keep it under the camper when we're not traveling rather than out and about and far away from us, because the noise doesn't really bother us. Like I said, I got 105 hours on it so far. Overall, I'm impressed with it. I'm probably slightly underpowered for what I need, but it's just kind of based on how many luxury items you want. If you want to run the AC of any other items, definitely don't run the water heater. Any heating components, the coffee maker even kind of drains it a little bit because it's rapidly heating all the water. And overall, it's a good product. Thank you. See you next time.